Good day to all. Welcome to Extreme Recap. Haley, a swimmer, gets ready to race at the University of Florida. Despite her amazing swimming abilities, she unfortunately falls short of her best time. It brings back a painful childhood memory of her losing a relay. However, her dad, Dave, would keep on empowering all her diligent effort. After the occasion is finished, Haley really takes a look at her telephone and tracks down a missed call from her sister, Beth, so she calls back right away. Beth illuminates Haley about the approaching Classification 5 typhoon, Wendy, that is going to strike Florida, and express his anxiety since she has not had the option to reach out to her dad, taking into account he is still around the area. Due to the fact that Beth appears to have taken Beth's mother's side in the divorce, they have a slight disagreement. Beth simply asks that Haley reach out to Dave. Haley begins to leave the city in response to the evacuation notices, trying to get in touch with Dave but failing. The poor police officers trying to clear the traffic jam out of town are being battered by the rain and wind as the sky is already dark. As the storm approaches, Haley meets Beth's friend Wayne, who is attempting to direct traffic. He shows her the best way to get out of town safely. Haley, on the other hand, makes a U-turn and drives down a legal road to the fine day. Haley goes to Dave's apartment suite to track down his canine, Sugar, there. The remainder of the spot is unfilled. She tracks down her old prizes, and once more, she has flashbacks of the days her father used to be her mentor, regretting that they have become far off since the separation. Haley calls Beth to tell her that she will check their old family home next. She ignores Beth's request to stop thinking about the past and heads out with Sugar as she drives downtown. When they got to the house, they noticed that the streets had begun to flood with water. Haley saw her dad's cars outside, so she knew he had to be there. She immediately investigates the backyard of the house but is unable to locate him. Harley is startled by a tree breaking through the window when she calls Dave's phone, which is in the kitchen. Haley follows Sugar as it suddenly starts barking and finds her at the basement door. Sugar stays upstairs in fear, but Haley goes down and starts crawling around, hearing strange noises as she moves further, and she starts hearing a radio and following the commotion. Takes her to find blood on the lines somewhere inside. Haley at long last finds Dave, who is oblivious with a seriously broken leg in the wake of ensuring he is alive. Additionally, Haley learns that he has a serious shoulder wound. The body is difficult to move. In an effort to bring him upstairs, she brings a large plastic bag over and places the body on top of it. An alligator, however, leaps in front of her as soon as they get close to the stairs. It entered the house through the drain pipe. The animal tries to attack them because of the rising water. However, Haley, frightened, immediately pulls Dave to safety by hiding behind pipes that block the beast's access. The croc ventures back, yet remains close by, hanging tight for them to move while the tempest deteriorates outside. Haley uses her jacket to collect rainwater for her father to drink after she wakes Dave up. Dave maintains that Haley should leave without him, however Haley rejects. Dave says he broke his leg trying to get away from the alligator and getting caught in the pipes. At that point, when Haley hears the struggle, she realizes that her phone fell on the other side of the pipes. She intends to get it back. So Dave instructs her that crocodiles can find in obscurity. But as she carefully maneuvers through the water, they are unable to hear her. Dave keeps talking to her to make sure she doesn't get in his way. Dave also reminds her that she always wins in the end when she tells him about her most recent defeat. Maintaining a constant eye on the alligator. Although Haley is able to reach the phone, when she dials 911, a second alligator appears behind her, shocking her. Haley promptly surges back and unintentionally drops her telephone, which closes with a monster strolling on it and obliterating it. Haley's leg is then biked by one of the alligators. However, Haley kicks the alligator in the head and escapes after some struggle. After that, she starts using anything and everything she can find, eventually putting an old cage over one alligator's head and blinding the other with a screwdriver. Haley then goes into hiding somewhere else behind pipes. However, she hears her father speaking at that exact moment. She intends to visit him. However, they can hear Sugar barking upstairs as she approaches the alligator on the opposite side. Both the father and the daughter tend to their injuries. Haley wraps the bite on her knee in an elastic from her pants, and Dave uses his tool belt to wrap a wrench around his broken leg. He likewise finds a digging tool that he starts utilizing as a bolster to move around outside. The storm continues to worsen, and the basement water levels quickly rise. Haley approaches the window to observe people at the gas station across the street after Dave confirms that there are no alligators nearby. Marv and Lee have taken the ATM and are pushing it on their boat while their companion Stan strikes the store for food. Marvel's attention is drawn to Haley's yelling and flashing of her flashlight. Disregarding these cautions, Mar starts walking toward the house when he hears a noise. He turns around to find an alligator jumping on the boat and eating Lee inside the store stand. Additionally, when he looks out, he observes Marv striking the door as the beast consumes him as well. The alligator soon enters the store, and the stand also becomes a meal. Then, at that point, Dave recommends that since the crocodiles are safeguarding their main way out is the other access hatch by the entry of the house. Haley carefully navigates the rising water until she reaches the hatch, where a swarm of spiders land on her. In the wake of brushing them away, she attempts to push the seal open. They realized they were out of options when some furniture on the opposite side blocked it. Wayne and his coworker are discovered by the duo when they hear a noise. Pete and a boat are passing by to see if anyone has been left behind. Wayne goes inside while Pete stays on the boat, seeing that the turbine is trapped in ocean growth. An alligator surprises him from behind and catches him as he leaves the boat to fix it. After that, a number of alligators join the fight to eat him. To Wayne again. He goes into the house and just can't see as anyone. Regardless of how hard Dave shovels the pipes, Haley tries to warn Wayne not to descend when she notices that he is heading toward the basement stairs. However, as soon as Wayne reaches his core, he is dragged into the water by the alligator after it catches him. Haley moves toward the monster to attempt to help Wayne, however the croc removes him to eat in private. The subsequent gator hears helium comes after her, so she rapidly swims away and reunites with her dad behind the lines, figuring they will pass on not too far often. Haley starts to cry and concedes she faults herself for her folks' separation, feeling that she made Dave turn his needs toward her and swimming. She is reassured by Dave that the sisters' love kept their parents together until they both moved down, and that none of it is her fault. Haley has always been a determined fighter who never gives up, so Dave encourages her to keep going. Thereafter, Dave makes an arrangement. Because they appeared to dislike it the previous time, he will use a brick to hit the pipes to distract the alligators. The plan works, and Haley will swim toward the stairs. The alligator misses Haley because it is so desperate to reach Dave on the other side of the pipes. Dave goes up against the monster. He then repeatedly hits it with a shovel until he smashes its head to, after much struggle. Haley carefully moves around while Sugar barks on top of the stairs, but she accidentally hits a box on the ground, attracting the second alligator's attention. Haley hears it, as well, and rapidly stows away, opting to take the drain pipe rather than the stairs. Regardless of whether Dave thinks it is excessively hazardous. As she moves further in, she is nauseated to find Wayne's body in a lot of egg shells. This is the mother's home, and Wayne was utilized as nourishment for the child crocodiles. At that point, the mother, Croc, begins swimming toward Haley. As a result, Haley walks up to Wyandotte and grabs his gun. In that instant, the croc leaps out of the water and nibbles her equipped hand. So Haley shoots over and over until the creature is at last dead. Sadly, the bullets run out as well, and the basement continues to flood. Dave also has trouble finding a place to breathe. Haley discovers another alligator swimming at the opposite end of the drain pipe as she swims through it. As she swims around it, she tries to be careful, but the alligator hears her and runs after her anyway. Fortunately, Haley is an extremely quick swimmer and figures out how to arrive at the ground before the crocodile shuts its jaws at her feet. In her experience growing up patio, Haley saw his helicopter as flying by, yet they don't see her and disappear. Haley then enters the house by breaking the back door with a garden chair, breaking the wooden floor with a crowbar, and Dave finally loses consciousness due to the lack of air, realizing that the basement has completely flooded. Presently, then Haley hauls Dave out and starts utilizing CPR to bring him back briefly. He wakes up, thankfully, and she thinks she has lost him. When the couple goes outside, they discover that the streets have also been flooded, which breaks their hearts. Therefore, driving is not an option. Dave observes that the boat remains in front of the shop, the other side of the street. So they should move toward it cautiously without making sprinkles that will alarm the crocodiles. The two of them slowly walk in the water, Sugar in Dave's arms, hoping the rain will provide shelter. Continuously watching out for the swimming monsters. They realize they are in the hurricane's path when the rain suddenly stops. When an alligator swims too close to them at that moment, they must immediately freeze. Yet in addition, an alert starts moaning, and they realize they don't have a lot of time left. Haley decides to attempt to reach the boat by swimming. The gators come after her, however she is a quicker swimmer and bounces on the boat just before she gets chomped, yet. After that, Haley steers the boat toward her father, who loads the boat with sugar. In any case, at that point, a monster wave stirs things up around town and pushes the boat once more into the house. The gathering falls into the water and attempts to go after one another, yet the solid momentum drives Dave away as Dave figures out how to come by clutching a few drifting things. He hollers he will meet Haley at the steps while she swims into the kitchen and climbs the counter. Haley throws something into the water to look for alligators after noticing some movement. No beast emerges, so Haley takes a stab at bouncing on the table, yet the leg quickly breaks. After that, she tries to cling to the ceiling light, but it also breaks, and Haley falls into the water. Haley swims away quickly and manages to climb another piece of furniture, where she finds a working radio floating around. She manages to reach the radio after climbing aboard the turnboat and using it to send an address message. In the meantime, Dave arrives at the steps and finds an old box of his where he had stowed away a lot of flares. Sugar can swim toward him as a result of him lighting one up and lighting the corridor, allowing them to reunite. However, an alligator emerges and bites Dave while he is being distracted by his dog. Dave drags him into the water and fights the alligator, who breaks his arm. In that instant, the alligator decides to pursue Haley when she arrives. While Dave holds his broken arm in place, Haley rapidly swims into the restroom and takes cover behind the shower entryway. This gives her a thought. After letting the alligator inside through the door, she jumps over it and closes it again, trapping the animal inside. After that, Haley joins Dave on the stairs and helps him get up. As the water levels inside the house keep rising, they open the attic door, and Haley sees a helicopter flying by as Dave goes up with Sugar. So she flares up as she approaches the window. Unfortunately, the water level is currently too high for them to be visible. An alligator suddenly enters through the window, and water pours in to obstruct the door. The monster chomps Haley's shoulder and hauls her submerged. However, Haley focuses on her childhood memories and grabs the flare to kill the animal. Then Haley swims through the window and arrives at the rooftop from outside. As yet another alligator tries to attack her, she holds onto the drain. Thankfully, however, the beast is driven away by the debris and current. Haley is about to give up control. Yet, at that point, Dave comes to the rooftop and gets her, hauling her with him to somewhere safe. Out of nowhere, Sugar begins yapping at a helicopter, and Haley promptly lifts another flare. The heroes, this time in all actuality, do see them lastly come to get them. Turn on notifications, please subscribe for more videos like this, and like the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.